All right, welcome back to Conversation Convo Combos. And yeah, man, it's been a hell of a month.
The doozy. We're going into, like I said in the last podcast, coming up on Halloween. But a question I got for you, Mister, since you asked me a question in the last podcast. Friendships and ones that you lost connection that you not necessarily could go back and fix. I'm gonna make this. Okay, let me do a better question. Question, not
Nah, it's all good.
speech.
It's all good. We can go about that.
Friends that you have lost that you don't know what happened, why, or that you don't know the resolve to them and how you feel about them.
Um,
Or even like friendships that you've, have dulled out. Maybe friendships that you've been like invested in. You were invested in the relationship, or not the relationship, but friendship. And now it's like you're kind of like, oh, I very seldomly talk to this person. And I'm wondering either why, or you're just like, it kind of makes your gears turn and be like, huh, why did that happen? Because, I mean, some of us don't care. It's like, I'm living my life, they're living their life.
yeah.
But, go ahead. I'm talking too much.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, there's been a great amount of friendships that I feel like I definitely lost contact with that definitely maybe kind of like, like you said, scratch your head about. One was, damn, I really do miss this kid, but I have no idea what happened between me and him. It was this dude that I met when I was,
You could drop their first name.
uh, it was his name, Travis. And I was very damn close with this kid. And I met him at, Amazon, fulfillment center in I believe it was in Bedford, Mass. And me and him we instantly clicked because he liked video games. He
Yeah.
liked Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. And we just hit it off, and he knew a lot more than I knew, and I was just like, damn, like this dude's going into depth and stuff like that. And yeah, after he had like this breakup that he was dating this chick for a very long time, for 5 years. Just I don't know, like he was consoling me. He actually came over to my house with me and my ex, and I talked to him on our kitchen table and stuff like that.
Like on
And
the phone? Like you had.
no, it was in person. And that was the
Like,
crazy thing. He met my cat in person. He pet my cat. He was in there in person in the kitchen table and stuff like that. Me and him, we went to this place that's in Mass in Bedford. They sell this burrito that they call the Zeus, and the name speaks for itself because that bitch was beefy. But I tried to pull the Kratos on that.
so
But
y'all were vibing, sitting around the kitchen table, talking.
yeah, no, we were talking for a great amount of time, and it was just like definitely a lot more about his ex because he had a lot of speculation about like this one dude. Funny enough, his name was Matt, and fucking he just was like saying all this stuff and like was in speculation and everything like that, and like I was trying to give him the 411 as much as I can about the deeds and everything like that. And
Trying to talk to him and work him out.
yeah, and like just like trying to like deviate it and just trying to console him and stuff like that. And then I don't know, we kind of like fell apart because like there was certain times where he would be like messaging me, and then sometimes I wouldn't message back, I'll be honest. Then I'll finally eventually get back to him, and then he got like some type of info that he heard about me, and he thought I was trying to get with his ex, or he felt some type of way because I was like, I was also friends with his ex too, which is like always the complication where it's just like you're
Yeah.
friends with the ex and then you're also friends with the friend, and then it's just like,
I think at that point, it's kind of like what Ray did with, well,
oh, you
where
talking with
it's,
what's her name?
yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
you're
was
friends and you gotta kind of, decide, okay, is it worth me keeping this friendship with the other sex or the other, you gotta pick and choose your battles. And
yeah.
I think that's I could see why he would get mad, because if you're still quote unquote friends with her and you're still talking to her even though you're trying to be friends with, like, if let's say I had a girl and then we broke up and you were still messaging that girl, I would feel some type of way. I'd be like, well, listen, like, she hurt me, but you're still,
Which I didn't understand at the time,
we're
but
like,
then I eventually kind of understand. I still contact him to this day, and still I ain't getting nothing. There was only one time that he actually contacted me, and it was like a dark moment around my time. This was during my breakup. It was like way prior before that, and he was just like, dude, like I'm just going through stuff. Like, that's what he would always keep on constantly saying. That he would always say that, like, I'm going through stuff. Like, I'm just going through my own thing and I'm handling it the way that I can. And I'm not, like, I don't talk to people when I'm going through stuff, whatever, like that. And
some
whatever.
people are like that where they shut people out.
Which, again, like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But for me, like, it was just like, you go from a person who's very talkative to a person that's just like completely saluted, and it's just like, damn.
You can't. I feel like that's kind of, not saying I wouldn't associate with those people, but I kind of like, if you're going through stuff, talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason we're friends. We're not friends, just to play video games and, talk about the holes that we inserted our stick into. Like, I mean, we're friends for a reason. So I'm not saying, pour your heart out, tell me, the ins and outs, the lefts and rights, the A to Z, the whole shebang. I'm just saying, like, we're friends. If you're going through a hard time, just be like, hey, I'm going through a hard time. I'm sorry. I haven't messaged you. I haven't, like, been there as a friend, but.
Yeah, and I most recently messaged him and I told him, like, straight up, I was just like, I was extremely courteous, and I was just like, hey, like, I'm sorry I wasn't, like, the best friend and stuff like that. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about that. Still don't get any type of reply.
And it makes you scratch your head, like, what's going on?
Yeah, like, what did I do wrong? And another motto that I like to live by is that, like, people are like seasons. They come and go.
Yeah.
And it sucks that, like, the people that you grew so much of a close bond with, like, I had a lot of, not a lot, but I would say, like, a decent amount of, like, female friends. And it was just, like, certain moments where it's just, like, like, we would be talking and it would be, like, chill and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The next, like, you get no contact. It's just like,
that's my pet peeve with people, is because my wife used to be the same way. Is, like you were saying, you have a lot of female contacts, whereas she has a lot of male contacts.
Yeah.
And I always told her, I said, listen, I'm like, the most relationships that fail and don't succeed are the ones that involve the other sex. I'm like, because if I'm in a relationship, like, let's say, random chick is in a relationship with you, and you're friends with all these girls because at the time you weren't in a relationship, but you're friends with all of them. And it's like, she's like, hey, like, I know you're on Snapchat, this and that, but I don't feel comfortable with you being on there.
Yeah.
Now, would you get rid of your Snapchat, or at least log out of it?
Yeah, because to be honest with you,
is
like,
it worth it?
Yeah, nah. To be honest with you, like, how Snapchat used to be back then
No.
is not how Snapchat is now, because Snapchat now is all about Snapchat, like bitches doing
Well,
like these
even
menus and
Instagram.
stuff like
If
that.
she said like Instagram, like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you on Instagram. I've seen a couple girls.
Oh, I don't care about that either. I don't care about any of these social medias. The only time I cared about these social medias was when I was doing my workout videos and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But other than that, I never really cared. And
What-
I don't even log into Facebook.
Okay. Another example. She asked for your phone. She says, "Hey, can I? Do you mind if I go see your phone?" What's
Yeah.
your reaction to her asking to see your phone?
That's fine. But another thing that I would say is just letting you know. If you look through it, just know that, you're looking for something. Same thing like if you're looking for racism,
But what if
you're gonna find it.
But what if she goes, "I know, you can have my phone and go through my phone."
Yeah. Nah. I get you on that because
I commend you for that, because
But
that's
it's-
the establishment that most relationships miss. Is correct. You are 100% correct. You are looking for something, but I feel like if that openness isn't there, where you're like, like you said, you are looking for something, you're not going to find it because I'm an open book, but you are looking for something, you're going to find
I
something.
mean, I can delete all the threads
But
I
the thing
want,
is,
but it's not.
that's where that comes in, where it's like she's looking and she goes, "Hey, I've noticed, this girl has been posting on Instagram, and you liked a couple photos, harmless. Like, you didn't say, 'Oh, I love you,' or
Yeah.
'Oh, like your picture's hot as shit.' Like, you haven't, but you've liked them. And I'm not saying a fresh relationship. I'm saying like maybe you've been like with your last girl or your ex, and she goes respectfully, "Hey, like I went through your phone, you got to go through my phone, and I saw you like this girl's couple photos. Can you just log off of Instagram? I don't feel it's making me a little uncomfortable." Which, I mean, sometimes a girl doesn't do that. A girl's 90% of most of the time she's not open. She won't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, as a man, I feel like, or as the other person trying to create this relationship and strengthen it, yeah, I'll log out of my Instagram. That's fine. I'll unfriend them if you want, or whatever it's called on Instagram.
Unfollow or whatever
them.
like that. No, not because you can block.
But
you
the
can.
same with them. It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And that's where me and my wife kind of, it worked, but we also conflicted a little bit, which is why what I have described to you happened. But anyways, but yeah, like you were saying, that back to the topic, your friend, I mean, it makes you scratch your head. Like, I know you're going through stuff, but that doesn't mean that you can't talk to me at all. Like, we don't have to have a full-blown conversation. I'm just messaging you, and all you gotta do is just like, it's like my wife's father says, he messages me and he's like, I get it, you get caught up in stuff, but like, even just put a thumbs up. Just put a thumbs up saying that you saw it, you witnessed it, and you're acknowledging it. So I know that I'm here.
Just the
Just a thought of like, and I mean, a lot of people will say, "Oh, that's very needy."
I just need a Roman Reigns. I just need a Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
I just need you
exactly.
to
Just
acknowledge me.
Like, it's something. I mean, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, well, you're just needy. That's all it is." It's like, no, it's not neediness. It's just me saying, "I'm here, and I need you to, one, acknowledge me with a thumbs up or something minimal. I'm not asking you for a novel. I'm not asking you to give me your 100% attention. Not even 50%. Not even 20%. Not even 10%. Like
5%.
5% at most. Give me a thumbs up, and then I'll leave you alone, and I'll contact you later on. Or if you want me to engage, write me a little more, and I'll engage with you. But if not, I'll just leave you alone, let you do your thing. I'll come back to you at a later date. But if you don't give me a thumbs up or that 5% of acknowledgement, I'm going to move the hell on."
Yeah, dude, that was the scary thing with Travis, because I didn't even know if this kid was alive or dead.
Suicidal, like, you don't know.
Exactly. And it was just like dude, I I was trying to figure out ways to like contact him. I was like, should I show up at his house? Should I contact his family members?
It's a double-edged
what do
sword.
I do?
But then you're overprotective or you're over invested. But then if you don't feel worried about him, then you're a dick.
Yeah,
you don't care.
You're the bad guy.
You're a coward. You're careless. You don't care. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
and that's the hard part about friendships
yeah.
and relationships. But friendships, I mean, you want to do another one, or you want me to go, or
yeah, you can go.
one that gets me is my boy. I got two, but I mean, my boy Matt. I mean, we've been friends for God long.
Yeah.
Shoot, we were friends when we were in freaking little underwears. I remember, I forget what my aunt said, but she's like, y'all ran around in your superhero underwear, blah, blah, blah. And she always tells us the stories, and it's so funny. And then we were apart for a long time. We had no clue who the heck each other was, and then we came back in middle school. I didn't even know I knew this kid. Like, at first he was just oh, hey, I know you, like, we're in the same class.
Yeah, with the hair down and everything.
Hair down and all that. And then next thing I know, I went home and I told my dad and stepmom, and she's like, oh, y'all were friends when you were little, like, kids. And I was like, what? I didn't know. Like, I didn't know he lived in Manchester nearby, and my parents lived, like, my dad lived in Manchester, like, there for that long.
Yeah.
And so it was, like, ironic. And then we went to middle school together, went through, became friends, and even tighter friends. And then next thing you know, we were hanging out over at our boys, and it was like we would go to the mall together. We would go, we worked together for a while. We went to movies together. We went to regardless, we did a lot. And then next thing you know, it's like dead. I had a baby, and it was like he was kind of in and out. He held her, hung out, came over, but it was starting to get like very discreet. And then next thing you know, he had a breakup, and then I was like, okay. And I don't know if it's because he had a breakup and I didn't like message him like, hey, what's going on? What's up? What happened? Like, I didn't even know he was broken up. They were broken up.
Yeah.
Until like a little bit into it, and then next thing I know, it was like I don't even talk to his ex. I'm like, I don't even have her on my Facebook anymore. And it's like, I don't even know what the heck happened. All I remember is we were planning to go to DC, and again, that was before Serenity, and it was kind of like, oh, I think we should do this, da, 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 da. And like, she was basically running the show. She was controlling him to a degree. And I was like, dude, you got this guy who is making the money. He's like almost pretty much the breadwinner. He's working all these hours, and you're working all these hours. Like, y'all like could crack down and actually do this, like, vacation or whatever.
That's the thing, that not everybody has the same mentality. Yeah. Unfortunately, not everybody has the same mentality.
But I mean, and then after, like I said, when they broke up, and it was like, then he moved in with his friend from his work, and then we never heard from him. And I was like, because he made a new friend that he was literally a co-worker that he was living with. And I was like, dude, you went through a breakup and then moved in with a stranger from work. Like, I don't care how you call it. Like, I wouldn't move in with someone I work with. Like, even if I worked with them for like a couple of years, I'd still be very skeptical. I would probably go to like Ray or you or someone that I've known for years.
Yeah.
Or even my own dad. Like, I wouldn't be like, hey, we worked together for like 2 years, 3, 4 years. Like, can I move in with you? Or we should get a place together. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, was there something there that you felt you couldn't ask me to move in with me? Like, I get I had a kid, but
Regardless.
I mean, shit, I have a kid and I freaking invited you to move in. It doesn't. We're here for each other. I mean, we're not blood, but we're family.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, that's how it was. That's how I thought it was.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it makes me scratch my head and be like, did I say something? Did I not do something that was expected of me?
Then,
was
like,
the
you gotta check the
expectations
archives and, like, look through the text messages and
that
stuff
was
like
the thing
that.
too. There was nothing. We didn't. Not a single fight. Not a
Yeah.
dispute. I mean, okay. The most dispute we would have is if we didn't agree on a movie.
That's about
or
it.
a game.
Yeah.
It was petty stuff. Like, I mean, petty stuff. Or actually, okay, the argument or dispute was about the whole Chris Rock and
Will Smith.
Will Smith thing. Because he was saying that comedians should get to say whatever they want. And I was like, no, because there's repercussions no matter who you are. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care if you're, Oprah Winfrey. I don't care if you're Ellen DeGeneres. I don't care if you're a Joe Schmo. Like, there's repercussions for anything that you say. What you say will be held against you in the court of law. That's why they read you Miranda rights.
Yeah.
So you say something that is hurtful to somebody, expect repercussions. Should you get hit? Now, if you get hit, it doesn't make me feel any type of way. Do I think that, Will Smith should be, prosecuted and for, his violence? I mean, if you're a bitch, then yeah, have him arrested and do jail time. Now, should he be reprimanded? Will Smith and both of them should have been reprimanded because, one, he hit somebody, so he should be completely banned from the award shows permanently.
Yeah.
Because that will stop the violence. You get rid of the violence, it'll stop the violence. But also, the violence wouldn't have started if it didn't get escalated. You got an instigator and you got an initiator.
True.
Eliminate the initiator and eliminate the instigator.
Yeah, because they both went upon the night, like, Will Smith was just, like, pretty much just, like, chilling,
But again,
laying
a
back,
lot of
and it
people
was just
speculate
like,
that
bro,
it was...
you just slapped Chris Rock. Like, how you just gonna, like, sit back and relax and whatever like that? Like, nah, that's, like, dude, like...
You insulted his wife for a disease. Is that the best jokes you got, insulting people?
And then,
like
Chris Rock getting slapped across the face is just like, like, bro, like, Will
I thought
Smith,
that was part of the
like,
comedian act. A lot of people thought that, too.
Yeah.
That it was all an act.
Yeah.
Which, sure, maybe it was. Sure, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But it doesn't matter because both of them should have been reprimanded and then just been done with it. Like, it could have been a cut, dry, simple solution. Oh, you guys think this is funny? You're both kicked off because you're making jokes about health conditions that can't be controlled. That's like someone going to a hospital with cancer kids and being like, oh, y'all are going to die.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha, that's fun. No, it's not. It's not funny. Like, making fun of kids that have cancer is not funny. Making fun of adults that have cancer is not funny. Making fun of adults that have disabilities. Oh,
or kids who have disability.
Dystrophy, you can't walk. You're a vegetable. Ha ha ha. Like, I'm not saying, be uptight about everything, but, like, if you make a joke about a fat person, like, oh, like Fluffy, Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah.
Like, he knows he's fat. He makes fat jokes about himself. Like, people will make fat jokes about him. Because you can control your weight. You can go on diets. You can go to the gym. There's countless things you can do about weight.
Yeah.
Height, you can't change. You can't change height, which is why I don't get why women ask about it. You can't grow 6 inches. You can't shrink 6 inches. You can't change your dick size. You can't change the color of your skin.
That's the thing that annoys me the most. Is just like that's always the number one question you always get asked. Is like, how tall are you? It's like, why does it matter how?
Well, people and then
how
people,
tall I am? I I don't get that.
Well, and you'll have comedians that make jokes like what's his name? Kevin Hart. They'll make fun of Kevin Hart for his height. Or like in the movies, he'll have it make fun of his height. Or he'll make fun of his own height. And I'm like, that's not funny. You're trying too hard to get a laugh. I'm like, and then the people that are laughing because they don't, either one, they don't have to deal with the issue because they're tall. Or two, they're short as well. And they're laughing because they're like, yeah, I deal with that. Like, I can relate.
Yeah.
But from a standby, like a Joe Schmo height person, I'm like, okay, that's not funny though, because you can't control that. If you could control it, yeah, it'd be funny because the person's stupid for not controlling it. Like, you're going to McDonald's eating like 6 cheeseburgers or 3-4 Big Macs, and you're like, what's up with people making fun of my weight? It's like, dude, you just went to McDonald's. Like, do you expect to lose weight if you're going to McDonald's?
Or if you go on like a bagel diet, it's just like, bro, like bagels stay in your stomach for a good amount of time.
I mean, and you do the research, but anyways, yeah, that's the only thing I could think of that would have had like us drop off, like where Matt stopped talking to me, is probably because I don't know if he felt like I was too invested in my beliefs, but I mean, I had always been like that, even with games when I argued with people. I'd argue with Ray, like, I mean, we go back and forth, like, hard body.
Yeah.
Like I said, makes me scratch my head, like, why we didn't connect. I mean, even after all that, even after being years without him contacting me, he wasn't there for Hunter's birth. I tried messaging him, nothing. I messaged him, hey, we have a new edition. He was like, great, I have a new edition. He had a baby and didn't even contact me, and I was like, oh. So she already has a kid, which I knew, and then you went and had a kid and you're contacting me like weeks later. Like, hey, by the way, I had a kid. I'm like, I appreciate you contacting me and letting me know, but like, I thought we were a little bit closer where, like, I mean, well, as soon as I had Serenity, I contacted you immediately, like, that day.
Same thing as Hunter, yeah.
I mean, I was contacting everybody. Like, literally, I contacted you and Ray, like, right after we got out of the delivery room, like, right while Sierra was holding him, and, like, all the freaking mess with her hair and everything, and, like, she was like, do we have to call her? I'm like, yes. Because I'm like, guess what? Who cares? They're family. They've been around us. They know us for countless years. What does it matter? Like, we're not impressing anybody. And I think that's the big persona.
I still remember that call when Hunter was born. Because me and my ex, we had a turtle named Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm just like laying in the bed half asleep, and I'm like opening up the door and I'm looking at the turtle. I was just like, what? Hunter's born? I'm like, oh, your kid. Oh yeah, no, congrats, man, that's awesome. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy. I'm like, how much he weighs and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, like, wow, that's helpful. I'm like, listen, man, I gotta go to bed. I'm like half asleep, and I even told you about that. I'm like, listen, dude, like, when you told me Hunter,
it was mad early. That's why it was super early.
Yeah, because like you called me like around like I think it was like around like I think it was like no, I think it was like around like 11 or 12. For my time, it was like 11 or 12. For you, it was probably like maybe like 1 or 2.
Yeah, because we're only an hour ahead.
Yeah,
an hour behind.
So I think you called me like around like for my time. I think it was like around 12. So I think it was probably for you like around 1. I just know it was like I was already laying in bed.
Other way around, because y'all are, like I said, an hour ahead. So if it was 12 your time, it was 11 our time.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. So if it was 1 your time, it was 12 our time.
Yeah. But so
whatever case, I called you. Yeah, I remember you were half asleep.
Like I said, I was like, I was already laying in bed, and I was just like, I'm like, yo, like, congrats, and I'm just like, and my ex was just like, like, who's calling you right now? I'm like, it's Mike. He's having his first son, And she was like, oh, I was like, well, tell him I said congrats. I'm like, you're never gonna believe his name. And she's like, oh, what's his name? I was just like, his name's Hunter. And she's like, what? And she was like my turtle? I was like, yes, like your turtle. Hence the reason why I opened up the door. And she's like, oh, okay. I was like, I was wondering why you opened the door. I'm like, yeah, because Hunter and I put two and two together.
I feel like, yeah, but no, I didn't want to get too off topic again. But you got one that makes you scratch your head. Another one. I can go again.
Yeah. Another one that kind of like scratches my head. No, I mean, to be honest with you, no. I literally, I kept the same amount of people in my life that, like, I feel like I'm satisfied with, and I don't, like, I'm more than welcome to, like, definitely gain more friends, but.
I mean, because I could say the same thing, I'm satisfied with who I got, but, I'm talking, like, is there anyone, like, I guess you could say from high school that you used to keep really like, not every day, but like frequently, like each week you would contact them and be like, hey, like, not saying go over and eat dinner with them or whatever, but you would keep in contact with and talk to about some stuff like on a regular basis, like the boy, like you said, that you used to game with and, maybe not invite them over and have them sit at your table, but you used to like frequently.
Yeah, no, man.
All right, I'd say probably our boy Johan.
I was gonna say him, but I was just.
But you keep in contact with them.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Even on Snapchat.
The thing is, like, it's like it's very like
conversation, but it's very casual.
It's partly like if I was gonna hit him up right now on Snapchat, he won't answer, but he'll probably hit me up the next day and be like, "Yo, I was like like doing this or whatever like that," and I was like, "Oh no, it's all good" and stuff like that.
See, and that to me, I don't mind. Like I don't mind that, but to me, it's
to go like cold turkey.
Yeah, to go completely cold turkey. And my thing is, like, if I engage a conversation, you need to engage it back. Or vice versa. Like, if I don't message you for a while, like, I'm very adamant to message people, even people I don't message for a while, I'll try and message them on a holiday or on some special occasion.
Yeah.
That way I can kind of spark it. So that way maybe throughout the year, like, because I got ADHD. Like,
same.
If you're not talking to me, I don't know you exist.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it, like, but that's just, unfortunately, I mean, even you can ask my wife, I mean, there's stuff that I'll do, and it's like, I completely forget it. Like, simple things like charging her Switch. I told her, message me throughout the day and say, hey, can you plug our switches in? Just because I will forget. I'll get busy doing something. It could be productive, it might not be productive, but regardless, I might get busy and forget, and that's not. I'm not doing it on purpose.
Intentionally,
it's just my attention isn't necessarily on that because maybe it's not an emergency or maybe it's not a priority at that moment. But if it's something you genuinely enjoy and want to do, help me to achieve that goal, just like I would help you to achieve your goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I try and engage with people during the holidays, like Happy Thanksgiving or, Merry Christmas or Happy New Year or like, hey, I just thought of something and it reminded me of the time that we did this. Like, and then I was just wondering how you were doing. And then I just hope that they message back or whatever. But, yeah, no, our boy Johan, I mean, like I said earlier, we were literally like all the time. He was always over. He slept over like all the time. I slept over all the time. There was times where we would sleep over for like 4, 5, 6 days straight, and over our boy Ray's, and we'd be playing games. I remember GTA came out, and we literally played that game religiously. Like, and he was literally over all the time, and literally, I remember I bought GTA for. I can't remember if it was his PS4 or Ray's PS4, but whatever the case, we were like playing it religiously, and it was just a fun vibe. We like clicked. We played games together. It was like we played Dead or Alive together. We played Super Smash together, all that, and then suddenly we got into our senior year of high school. He was smoking weed, doing music. I was doing a little bit of music, trying to like get into it, but I was like, well, one, this isn't going to make me money, and two, it's not something that I 100% enjoy, or something that, is, has like my heart completely like pulled to it.
Yeah.
I was more into like gaming, working, and, trying to, I guess establish what the world could provide me and figuring that out.
Well, like with music, it requires a certain type of, like.
I feel like you gotta have a concrete foundation to be standing on.
Not only a concrete, like if you're trying to be famous, definitely, like you have to have like something concrete. But like when you're truly invested, like when I was truly invested, I mean, you can see the books from here. I was getting rhyming dictionaries. I was getting just straight normal dictionaries. I was getting writing better lyrics. I was getting, even just for shits and giggles, how to rap. Both books, so, the first volume, the second volume, just,
Let me ask you, where were you when you were buying those? Where were you staying? You had a concrete foundation to stand on while you slowly eased into that. Not saying that me staying with Ray wasn't concrete, but I knew that me staying with Ray was temporary, and I was eventually going to have to figure something out.
Yeah.
So, which should be respect to Ray, knowing that I wasn't going to take advantage of him, just like you were telling my uncle and my family, like, this is temporary. I get that. It may take me some time, but, where's to? I'm not saying that, like, you staying at your dad's or wherever was, like, you were planning to stay there, but you felt comfortable to the point where you could, like, be like, you could kind of feel things out. You could be like, oh, I could get some dictionaries, encyclopedias and stuff, look into these words.
Yeah.
Practice, a couple times, record a couple trials and go at it.
Tracks and stuff.
Kind of like how we're doing now with this podcast. It's like we were able to try out a couple times because we have a foundation.
Yeah.
I have a stable job. My wife has a decent job, and we make enough money, and you have a stable job where you make enough money where it's like we could pay our dues and not have to worry about, okay, like, are we making enough rent? Am I pulling my own weight? This or that? Like,
yeah.
It's just like casual. And if you're not feeling that casual, you're like walking on eggshells. You're not going to perform at your best.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I was at, where it was like, I could do the music thing, but I'm not performing. I'm not going to put my full A effort in. I'm only going to put, my C effort because the effort's there. But I'm going to end up, kind of like Ray's doing right now, where he's like, oh, I want to be a VTuber or a YouTuber or a, streamer or whatever. It's like he's not going to be fully invested unless he has that foundation where he's not worried. If he had a job and could afford to buy the mic he needs, the camera that he needs, the models that he needs, the backgrounds that he needs, or thumbnails.
I mean, you really have to utilize all your utilities around you, and that's what I was able to kind of establish and a lot of things, not only just music, but drawing, working out, skateboarding, everything. The way that you gotta see life is that there's a bunch of tools that surround you, but you have to be the person to be able to, put yourself out there and utilize those utilities. I feel like, definitely with our boy Johan, he was able to establish that because he came from a little bit of that background. So, like you said, like the concrete and the foundation. But to kind of piggyback off of you, I mean, that is, I guess that is one relationship I would also speak about upon. Also, I mean, I still keep in contact with them here and there, but I think it's also comes down to a strand of like having that interest, because like certain people, they get like very fickle when it comes to there's no point of interest. Like me and you, like I mean, like me and you are like very damn close and stuff like that. But like me and you, we share a lot of similarities over the past years and even the past couple months and days. But there's certain attributes that I have that you definitely don't. But I only exhibited those attributes because I had a certain amount of not just concrete, but also I had attributes that I know I could dabble into. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because when you do things that you don't know if you're good at, and then you try it out, and then next you know, like, hey, I think this is pretty good, and then you put it out there, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. You never know the outcome and their aspect of it.
And a prime example to put that is, if you don't have, a lot of people will not take the risk unless they have a safety net.
Yeah, no, of course, like I said,
the concrete establishment, I never would have went into a school job unless I had that safety net.
Right.
I was living at Ray's, and I was looking around for a job. I was working at McDonald's, and I could have easily stayed working at McDonald's and then went and worked at T-Bone's.
Yeah.
Like Matt had said, and I could have just stayed at T-Bone's and been miserable my whole life.
Yeah.
And then eventually my relationship probably wouldn't have worked out because I was so stressed out at my job. But I kept in contact with my dad, kept telling him, like, hey, I'm just trying to find a job. I need a job that's going to, establish me and give me good stuff for my family. I know where you were working at, you were able to have a family, so what the heck do you have that I don't have?
Yeah.
And,
that's when he bestowed upon the opportunity. Well, the thing is, like, people get sometimes too comfortable in a certain position where they're at, and then they kind of live off that, and then they leech off that.
And that might be why me and Johan didn't work out, is because he was comfortable with, doing the music career, going from place to place, and not, like, staying in one spot. How they call it, couch hopping. Yes, couch hopping and stuff like that. Not necessarily
homeless or whatever like that, but he
on a couch.
Yeah, but he had always some place that he could kind of like crash at and stuff like that. Which no disrespect, like that's fine and stuff like that. But
that's how people operate. Some people stay in their van and travel the world.
Yeah. And there ain't nothing wrong with it. I think what it really falls down to is that, like, somewhere around the line, you have to realize that, like, I need to establish myself. I need to find a place where I could be by myself and be secluded and doing me. Which is why I was very tempted to taking that offer when I had that in New Hampshire. And I was going to pull the trigger, but I didn't want to pull the trigger because I was listening to you, and I was just like, I got to think about the longevity and the Q's and A's and stuff like that, because if you're really doing the mathematics and then you're really doing all those numbers in your head and stuff like that, and you break it down, you really got to think about, like, what's going to be better for you and why I made that move. And everybody, like, dude, like, everybody always asking me that question. Everybody always asking me, like, oh, like, why did you move down to Alabama? Like, oh, like you decided to make this decision and stuff like that. Why'd you go down there and stuff like first of all, like, yeah, y'all only knew me when I was living down there. Y'all don't understand the shit that I went through and the shit that I was already so accustomed to, and it gets very tiring, it gets very boring. Secondly, I wanted to try something new. I wanted a different experience.
Well, and the big thing is that like I was telling you, and like I've told you countless times, like a broken record player couldn't repeat it as many times as I did. I wasn't trying to tell you like move down here.
Yeah, no, you weren't twisting my arm.
You
weren't twisting my arm.
And I wasn't at the bar either.
Honky tonk.
But no, like I told you, I told you you can move down here. It's a new start. I mean, keep in contact with everybody. Yeah, go ahead and you should tell your dad. This is what I believe. You should tell your dad. You should tell people you're moving down here. If you choose not to, that's your decision.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a grown-ass man. You make your own decisions and decide what you're going to do. But I mean, it's good to have change and evolve to benefit your longevity and your experience. But at the same time, you didn't forget your roots.
Yeah.
And you know your roots, and you know that you look back and you could talk to people and be like, hey, it's not that I moved down here because I wanted to. It's because I looked at it and was like, not only do I want to, but it's a new start, and in the longevity of it, I can become better.
The way that I see it as is that, like, if I would have stayed down in Manchester, New Hampshire, it would have just been the same rinse and repeat. You know what I'm saying? Whether I decide to live with my pops or whether I decide to live with our boy, Ray, you know what I'm saying? It would have been just like the same rinse and repeat. And then what was I going to do? Go back to Rhode Island where I knew pretty much nobody? You know what I'm saying? So it's like my options were like pretty limited. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you don't want to go back. You never want to go back. You don't want to backtrack. You want to try something new. You want to feel different experiences. But then you got to also think that like you have certain characteristics about yourself that you can also still establish in a new environment. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start that new page in a place that nobody fucking knows you, they don't know what the fuck you did. You were a player in Manchester, New Hampshire. You were, like in a very serious, long relationship in Rhode Island, but they don't fucking know that until you tell them. Yeah. And then even if you do tell them, like, oh, well, I didn't know that about you. And then next, you're over here doing like, because I mess around with doing like turntables. I know how to make beats, like I know how to like, spit a couple verses on like beats and stuff like that. I know how to draw. I know how to skateboard and stuff like that. If you look at all these attributes and then you see it and that, you have yourself a nice portfolio where it's just like, you can literally take that and then that doesn't mean that's the ending line for you because you can still learn more because what you know doesn't mean that that's where it ends.
Yeah.
And people think that like when you start a new fresh page that it's gonna be scary at first. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be scary at first, but then when you actually start getting yourself more comfortable in that environment, and then people are just like, oh, I didn't know you knew how to like mess around with turntables, or I didn't know you knew how to rap, or like, oh, I didn't know you knew how to draw and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, and that was the big thing that I was telling you, and that I'll say is that, I mean, you start somewhere new and nobody knows you. You leave all that crap behind you. You don't got to worry about like, oh, what if. You eliminate all the what ifs, you eliminate all that because, like you said, you're in a new place. And especially, I mean, I guess we could wrap it up on this, but you meet a girl and you're completely new to her. You tell her like the turntables, all that.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, wow, I didn't know that about you. And you're like, yeah, there's a lot that I can show you and you can learn about me. And
I mean, like, dude, like, just like put the nail in the coffin and like to end this, I would say my best like friendship out of all of them, I gotta say, definitely you, because seeing where you came from and knowing what you went through and stuff like that and all the knowledge that you're able to bestow upon me, I'm like, dude, like changing spark plugs and stuff like that. I didn't really know how to do that. And I was just like, damn. The oil I had a little bit, but like when you actually went in depth with it, I was like, oh, okay. Like, all right, I see you and stuff like that, you know, and like the knowledge that you were able to bestow upon me and stuff like that, it's crazy. And how you're very intricate about certain things when like you're drilling and, you know, you're trying to like, you know, like configure it stuff like texturous, trying to move stuff around. I'm just like, well, why can't we just put it in like that? And I was like, oh, well, that's not gonna fit because that's gonna slide off, and then if we try to drive off, then it's just gonna slide literally right off. So I'm gonna put this like this, so that way it's gonna stay sturdy, and then that way when we do pull off, it's gonna stay in the same place, figuratively.
Yeah.
So.
You're trying to say I'm your white knight. I'm your white knight.
in some type of way.
I'm your white knight in sight, and if you look at me too long, I might take flight.
pretty damn much. But that is definitely going to do it for this conversation convo. We will be back to you guys as soon as possible. So take it easy. Peace.
Nerd. Toes.